An awesome get this week, Shane, here on Wildcat Country. TJ Benson, newest member of the Arizona men's basketball coaching staff. You are a special assistant to the head coach. You're the recruiting coordinator. You're also a coach. First of all, can you tell us exactly what your day-to-day life looks like on the staff?
A little bit of everything right now. I mean, whether it's recruiting, academics, compliance, meeting with this person, that person. I mean, it's really just trying to get familiar with everyone here at U of A, and everyone's been great so far. I mean, they're making it as easy of a transition as possible, and at the end of the day, too, there's a lot of resources here that I really never have had at my disposal before. But overall, I mean, it's been a fun few weeks since I got officially on board.
So, TJ, why make the decision to follow Tommy Lloyd to Arizona?
I mean, Tommy gave me my chance at Gonzaga. When I decided to make a change a couple years ago at Grand Canyon, and he called me, I mean, probably 2 days afterwards and said, "Hey, you got a spot here at Gonzaga. I don't know what that's going to exactly entail." And you know what? It's something that he's always talking about it and preaching it to guys and people in general. But he didn't overpromise me anything. And because he never wants to underdeliver. And, that's one thing with me. I got up there and one thing led to another in a full-time position. And obviously I couldn't be more thankful for him, for Coach Few, Mike Roth, those guys up there. I mean, they took care of me from day one. And obviously now, the moment I had kind of gotten word from him that he was going to have a chance to get this job, I said, "Hey, you get it. I'm right there with you."
So how far back does your relationship go with Tommy Lloyd, and how did your time with him at Gonzaga help prepare you for the role that you accepted at Arizona?
I mean, I actually think I look back on it, the first time I actually met him was at an Outback Steakhouse in Anaheim, California with Jeff Linder, who's now the head coach at University of Wyoming. I didn't really know who he was at the time. It was like I think it was my first year as an assistant at Grand Canyon. And, we got to know each other a little bit then, but it just kind of developed over the years. And then I actually recruited his son, Liam Lloyd, who's now at Grand Canyon. And, it's something that has evolved, and it clearly gave me the opportunity to get up there. And I mean, just the last 2 years, I mean, when you're learning from, great people and great minds like Coach Few and Coach Lloyd, I mean, it's something where I had personally, being an assistant, I'd done a lot of things just through my own experiences, but to see it done at the level that those guys have been doing it at for, 20 plus years now, it's stuff that really just kind of opened my eyes, and to see how they do it and how they treat people and the relationships that they have with so many, individuals throughout, the business and whatnot. It's something that I can't even put into words how much I learned over the last few years from them.
What can you tell us about the makeup of this coaching staff? Give kind of the fans an overview of what this bunch is all about.
I mean, you're just going to have a bunch of good dudes that want to have fun and win basketball games. And, that starts obviously with Coach Lloyd. I mean, I think he's one of the best human beings that I've ever come in contact with. I mean, he's genuine, he's passionate, he's energetic. I mean, he just cares about people and kids, and it doesn't matter, who it is. I mean, he's someone that just genuinely cares and wants to help people out. And, that trickles on down to Coach Murph. I mean, I know him from, when he was at NAU and getting to know him and be on the road, and just another genuinely great guy. And then, Jet, I just getting to know him, but, through different guys that I know, whether it's Matt Brazzi, who coached me at Grand Canyon for a year, Russ Pennell, those guys have nothing but great things to say about him. And then even the rest of the staff. I mean, Ken Nakagawa, I worked with him the last 2 years. Rim Backmus is a guy that's just, oozing with energy and excitement all the time too. So you just got a bunch of really great people, and I know we're all excited to be here.
So one thing that's interesting about you guys coming here at this time is the roster turnover. And currently, Arizona has 4 open scholarships. And I want to ask you about a couple of new players that have signed on recently. Omar Ballo, who you know from Gonzaga, and then obviously Pelly Larson, who just came on this past weekend from Utah. What can you tell us about them?
I mean, I'll start with Umar just because I got, the last 2 years, experiences with him. And he's another one, just a great kid. When he came to campus, he was 17 years old. And, he's someone that I think Tommy, obviously had a great relationship with him. And I've developed that the last 2 years. But you're going to get everyone nicknamed him, he's Baby Shaq. I mean, he really is a big kid. I think he's got a lot of work still to do, and room to improve and get better. But he's someone that I don't think he's quite tapped into what he's really capable of doing yet. And I know that, we want to kind of give him a fresh start. And I think you're going to have people here that are going to work with him and develop him and hopefully, achieve that, down the road. And then Larson, I just watching Pac-12 games and then clips you see on him. He's an extremely versatile guard wing that can play multiple spots. He can shoot the ball extremely well. I think the way we're going to play with him in terms of ball screens and multiple sides, multiple actions, I think it's something that he's going to definitely thrive in. And that's one thing that you watch. I don't want to refer to Gonzaga too much, but you watch the way that we play, it's going to be a similar style. And to have guys like him, multiple players on the floor that can play multiple spots and have the ball in their hands and make plays is something that, we're really trying to emphasize.
TJ, what is a Tommy Lloyd kind of player? I'm not just talking about on court. I'm talking about, off the court, personality wise. What kind of guys is he looking for?
He just wants great kids with, high character. I think you get those, and then you add in obviously you want skilled kids who can do different things on the basketball floor and make the right reads and decisions. But to me, we want to be able to work with great kids, smart kids, and that's the culture that we want to have here. And it's always a cliche, in my opinion, when you talk about culture, but that's why, I think that's why he had a big part in why he got the job. And, he's trying to obviously have, kind of bring those similar ways to Arizona. Not to say that hasn't been the case in the past, but he definitely wants to have good kids with great character.
I know coaching and playing in the Valley, I'm sure you got familiar with the U of A men's basketball program. I know you took a trip down to Tucson a few years ago when you were at GCU. Lopes played U of A down there. It was actually a pretty close game. I remember some Lopes fans making noise down there. It's rare forever for opposing fans to be heard in Tucson. But just tell us about some of your memories or encounters with the U of A men's basketball program as a player or a coach that stand out to you.
Like you kind of obviously talked about, I kind of come full circle in a way here. Whether it was my time at Weber State playing, I didn't play a whole lot. I think I got about 30 seconds at the end of the half. In that one, Grand Canyon, we had, one thing I remember about the Grand Canyon game especially, I think we cut it to maybe 4 points, and we had a chance to cut it to single digits. And I just remember how loud McHale got. And people got on their feet, and it's like they were like, okay, we need to, this is our, we need to get our team back in this chain, go in the right direction here. But, that's something that I know that everyone missed this last year was having fans in the stands. And I just know that every single night, McHale is always packed. The fans are what they are in terms of just support, being loud. And to me, I think that's something that's always just stuck out to me is just the constant support that you get from the community here. It's the only show in Tucson, and you know what? It's definitely a special place.
So this is kind of a tough one, TJ. So I'm going to throw you on the spot here. Expectations for year one. What, as fans, should we expect to see, and what is realistic in terms of how far this team should go in year one, as best you can answer that?
I think that in year one, expect us to play hard, play smart, and to have a lot of fun. I think that we are going to have some talent. I mean, you look at the guys that are returning with, Kerr, Dalen, Ben, Christian, Azulis. The cupboard wasn't bare. I mean, that's not, by any stretch. And I think there was some stuff that had us, in the top 25 and some preseason stuff before some, departures. But I think we're going to continue to add to the roster. And I think once we kind of get that filled out, we'll have a better idea of the expectations. But, the three things I said, I mean, those are something I know we're not going to, there'll be non-negotiables at the end of the day. And I think we'll have a lot of fun doing it.
What did you learn from coaching at Gonzaga this year, especially the run that you guys made, undefeated up to the national championship game, just the incredible moment in the semifinals with Jalen Suggs? What did you learn as a coach from what you experienced this past season?
I mean, I think the biggest thing probably with anyone can attest to this is you just got to learn to adapt and be flexible with anything and everything going on. I mean, this was such a crazy year for, everyone in all facets of life. And it was never going to be perfect. I mean, there was times where we're rescheduling games, 2 or 3 days in advance, and you just have to mentally prepare yourself on quick turnarounds. And I think that that's just the biggest thing is just, mentally, being prepared for anything and everything, and to really just adapt quickly. Because if you don't, you're gonna pay for it. And I think for us, I mean, we went on a heck of a run, and our players, I mean, I give all the credit in the world is to go as long, to go 31-0, and hey, we lost the national championship, and Baylor was the better team that night, no doubt about it. But to have your target on your back every time, every day out, and to obviously go what those guys went through, I mean, there's a lot to be said about that.
My last question for you, TJ. I was able to be there for the Final Four in Glendale when your brother Casey competed for Oregon, and then the following year when he played for GCU. I believe he's playing overseas now. Just can you tell us how is Casey doing these days, and do you think he might ever follow in your footsteps and become a coach at some point?
Casey's doing great. I mean, he's actually in Phoenix now working out, but he just finished year 3 professionally. He's actually been in Slovenia for 2 of the 3 years, and then year 2 he was kind of between Finland and Bulgaria. But he's still hooping. I mean, he still loves to do it. He keeps getting better. I know for him, that's just something I think is, as long as and I keep telling him, hey, if you can keep playing and make good money, do it. It's your body eventually wears out on you, but he's talked about coaching. I don't know exactly what level he'd want to do. He's seen my journey as a coach, and I got a chance to coach him for a year at Grand Canyon. But I think that when he decides to hang it up and playing wise, it definitely will be an option for him if it's something he really wants to pursue.
Well, TJ Benson, newest member of the Wildcats basketball coaching staff, we really appreciate you taking time to join us today, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon. Best of luck, and bear down.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.